Hey everybody, this is your friendly neighborhood tech Troublemaker, and I've got some amazing guests, and here they are. And so tonight, this is an international episode because we have folks from Australia who are really late. I'm very sorry about the lateness of the hour, but thank you for being here, and from Denmark. And so we'll just go through, we'll let everybody introduce themselves. And the concept, we talk about origin stories, we talk about challenges they face, and then we talk about what's next, and lots of questions ensue. And thank you so much for everybody that's here tonight. So let's find out. And we're going to start with Claire. Would you mind giving us an introduction of yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm a content creator based in Adelaide, South Australia. I came to YouTube kind of just, I don't know, what was it that made me get started in YouTube? I originally had a channel that was all about personal finance and helping people to get out of debt, which is something that I had done for myself. I had like a whole bunch of debt that I managed to claw my way out of. And then I helped my parents work out how to save money. And that was amazing to be able to help them with that. And then I was kind of like, I feel like if I can help them with that, then maybe I could help more people on, a global scale. And things kind of evolved from then. Probably one of my biggest challenges, which we'll get to in the future, was having to stop doing personal finance. And I pivoted to doing a YouTube channel about helping people to grow their YouTube channel. So I interview people similarly to what Roy does. And fortunately was able to interview Roy earlier in the year, which was awesome fun. And I have also recently just started a YouTube channel with my wife where we are documenting our IVF journey. And yeah, it's very, very fun. Is that the origin?
Well, you almost gave the origin away. We'll come back to that though. Yeah. All right.
Oh, was I not supposed to be doing origin?
No, that's good too. That's good too. Right now. No, you know what? We're just going to live life however it goes.
Yeah. What was the question? Man, it's late.
I just want you to introduce yourself, but no,
IVF
you got it now.
Medication.
Yeah. John, how about give us a quick bio of you, sir?
Hi, everybody. Hi, Roy. Thank you so much for having me. My name's John Lacey. I'm also an Australian, as you may have gathered from the accent. I guess without getting too deep into my origin story, because I know that's coming up, basically, I'm really interested in content creation and sharing about creating all kinds of different types of content online. Whether that's live streaming or podcasting or writing articles or creating graphics. I really like to sort of utilize my background in sort of, I'm actually sort of a web design and developer by trade, although I haven't done that for a little while. I've sort of ventured out into some other areas, but yeah, I really enjoy sort of expressing myself and, just helping other people do that as well. So yeah, I'm really happy to be here. Thank you, Roy.
I was going to say, I really like your levitating microphone. I'll have to ask about that later. So,
sure.
Ejnar, give us your quick bio.
My name is Ejnar Riis, Hansen, and I'm from Denmark. And I have used the most of my life selling different things, also electronics, and marketing also has been a part of it. And during the pandemic, I came across all this streaming. So this is what I have been working with since 2020. Also because I have been without work now for 4 years, and it is very difficult to find something to do when you are 60 years old.
Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah, but going back to Claire. So yeah, I mean, definitely you're on an amazing journey. We're going to get into that later a little bit too. So. Definitely, and I'm enjoying seeing all the stuff you've been posting on Instagram and now your second YouTube channel and stuff. So we're going to get into that. Yeah, so I mean, really just so you talked about that you got into the finance and then you pivoted to content creation and trying to help content creators. I mean, what made you decide that was what you wanted to dig into next as kind of, pivoting from, that's the thing a lot of us run into is we have a challenge pivoting. We realize, okay, I've hit a brick wall. This is not where I need to be going. and now I need to do this content instead. And so how did you get there?
Yeah, for sure. So the laws really changed in Australia about what people can talk about online regarding personal finance. So for me, it was a very quick, like, it wasn't like, oh, maybe I should change what I'm doing. It was like, oh, I just can't do this anymore. So either I work out something else to do or I stop. But I had learnt so much about like how YouTube works and just how to kind of move through my own personal blocks of when it comes to creating content, that I was like, actually, I think this is like, you think about what am I passionate about? What do I want to be doing? And the thing that I was like just going on and on and on about with my friends and loved ones and stuff was YouTube. And like I had grown to be very, very passionate about it and trying to work out how it works. And yeah, I just have so much curiosity around this incredible platform. So it made sense to pivot to doing that. So yeah.
Definitely. John, how about you, sir? Tell us your origin story. How did you get started with content creation in general? And how did you pick the niche that you're in right now?
It's funny because I actually, like, I have YouTube videos that are 15 years old. Like, I started really, really early in the piece, and I kind of went away from it for a really, really, really long time. And I guess the recent catalyst for me was that there was a bit of a global pandemic. And at that time, I was sort of a face-to-face information technology teacher. I was teaching adults everything from basic Microsoft Word and Excel to more advanced web design and development stuff. And I guess, my work sort of dried up in the course of a week. And that in itself didn't worry me too much. And I was very fortunate in the sense that I got another job very shortly after that. But I guess in that moment, I was really struck by how few people knew who I was and what I was capable of. And I guess, moving away from that teaching, I kind of still want to scratch that itch a little bit. And I do want to show people the things that I know how to do and help them really sort of reach some of their own goals in terms of content creation as well. So, it's funny because in some ways I've known people that have been doing this, as I say, for 15 odd years. And, in some ways, I'm sort of starting from scratch, which is its own little journey as well. So I guess really, I just wanted to be able to showcase the things I was able to do in all kinds of different mediums. Yeah. So I think that's, that was the more recent origin story, if you will.
Yeah, definitely. That's good. Yeah. I teach part-time computer classes. So early days, I used to record like little mini lectures. Yeah, please.
Can I just say something? When Roy asked me to be on the show, I was poking around his LinkedIn profile, and apparently you wrote a Kindle book on WordPress, and I clicked on that link, and it said you purchased this back in 2015 or something. So it just goes to show, even though I've only sort of known about you in the last few months, like you've definitely been out and about. So I thought that was a funny coincidence.
I promised people I would update that book, and I haven't, and so I failed my audience. My plan was it was going to be an evergreen book, and I would literally just update it, and you would automatically get the latest version of the book because, as you know, WordPress just keeps changing, and I haven't. So I apologize to you and everyone else that bought that book that I haven't fulfilled my promise. So that's like a version WordPress 3, so it's like, oh, wow, that's 1,000 years ago, so... Wow. So, yeah, wow, the world is smaller than you think it is, even though we're literally, I think, 14 hours difference right now. So it's a challenge. So I always, yeah. Ejnar, you kind of mentioned a little bit about your origin story, but, you're helping people. You're trying to help others with their computer problems and that type of thing. So how did that lead into doing a YouTube channel? What kind of started your content creation journey with that?
It all started when I got into a network for seniors where we try to help each other to get another job and have a kind of office where we can meet, so it feels like you are at work. And in this office, we try to help people also if they don't know how to fill out a database or make an application in Word, for example. And extraordinary many people in Denmark from about 45 and up don't know even how to start a computer. And we are not writing all this for them. We only help them about how to do it and tell them what to do. But when they should do it on the computer, they cannot. So I have my thing on YouTube is divided in two. One is for seniors, where I try to help people how to use the computer and how to use the programs. And I make this in cooperation with Tony Iverson from California. I think you know who he is. Yes. And the other part is where I try to tell new about new technology. I work with marketing, digital marketing, and a little sales also, but I want to get a little more away from sales. But you cannot go so far away because you need to use it here also. But here in Europe, we have this big problem now with GDPR. It is more or less impossible to do something without you violating some rules.
No, definitely. And, you know, that personal privacy and the challenges of that, yeah, in the U.S., we don't have any rules. So you can violate everybody's privacy. It's totally fine. So, yeah,
No, but here we cannot do anything here if the person has not signed up with us first. Then we can contact them. I cannot go out and contact people via email or something else. They need to contact me first and let me write to them afterwards.
Yeah. Well, let's shout out to. There's a lot of our friends out in the chat here, so I just want to say hi to catch up with everybody here. Let's see. Dagan says hi, Claire. Dagan saying hi to all. BGG Grooming. Claire saying hi to everybody before the meetup there. Hey, saying hi to Dagan. Creator Classroom. Hey, welcome. Did I miss Claire faux pas? Not yet. It's early. Happy Saturday. Florence saying hey to Dagan. Hey, Claire. Yep. Hey, Florence. Everybody just saying hi to everybody. That's very cool. Yeah, definitely a quick pivot. So, yeah, definitely going from finance to teaching content creation is definitely a quick pivot. Matt Haas in the house from Awesome Wood Things saying, hey, awesome people. Claire saying hi to everyone. Claire, Florence says she loves your origin story there, Claire. Thank you. And then saying hi to Matt. I'm hoping at least one origin story involves radioactive spider. So, yeah, hopefully when that part got left out. If any of you guys want to tell about the radioactive spider involved in your origin story, Matt would definitely like to hear it. Tatiana says, hello, everyone. Yeah, so anyway. Yep. Florence says, awesome origin story. And WordPress is the most common content management system. Yes, it is. So I have played since the early days of 2.0 of WordPress. So everybody just saying hi to everybody. Yep. And Ejnar helping seniors is fantastic. So, yeah. Good day. Oh, hey. Good. Ross Bundy, good day from South Australia. Interesting chat. I'm at work listening while I work. Yep, Dagan is busy working while the rest of us are lounging, right? So, definitely, next up, I want to kind of ask you guys about kind of the challenges that you faced in kind of your content creation journey, the things that you have gone through to, I've had some crazy stuff happen. Like, for example, before the show started today, none of my guests showed up. And I had to turn off interview mode and put it back on, and then magically I had guests. So that was a little scary. This is gonna be an audience of one. So anyway, but we made it work. So Claire, what kind of challenges have you run into trying to create content? What sort of things have you run into? Just tell us.
Yeah.
And did you have solutions? How'd you solve them?
Yeah. Well, that big pivot in the beginning was a bit of a challenge, but it was also like I was happy as soon as I made that change. I was happy. So I don't know. I don't feel like that was the biggest challenge. I think the biggest challenge that I have faced is really recently with the new channel and with the starting of the new channel, because this channel is about my wife and I and our IVF journey, which is something that a lot of people on the internet think is awesome, and then there's also a lot of people that think it's really not awesome. So there has been like moving through the fear of like, oh, what if people say horrible stuff, and working out how to create content, knowing that you will have haters, but knowing how much it's helping people at the same time is like, it's a very, very interesting balance. And that's something that when I have been doing the stuff about content creation hasn't been such a thing. Like, you might have unpleasant comments that are not personal at all, like that are just, oh, your content sucks, or whatever it is, like, or thumbs downs or whatever. And it's like, oh, okay, that's fine. But like when it gets really like deeply personal, it's like, okay, that's fine. And though you can be really prepared for that, and like, we didn't start this not knowing that there would be homophobia that we would have to deal with. But then when it actually happens, it's like, that still is unpleasant. So what am I trying to say here? What am I trying to say? What I'm trying to say, I think, is the thing that makes that like really, really easy to deal with is focusing on all of those people that are telling us how much what we're doing is helping. And thinking about myself when I was younger, not being able to imagine like the life that I am now able to live. And it's really special. It's been so special. So this thing that started off being so challenging, and the thought of it and the idea of it really being so unpleasant, is now something that is really, really positive and putting out such beautiful positivity into the world. And yeah, it's good. I guess that's how I overcame that or am constantly overcoming that.
Yeah, that's that is definitely a challenge. And you know, the thing is that, you know, the trolls, the people that just are just haters, like Matt Haas here says, his motto is "Do what you want and ignore the haters." Out there. Definitely true. And you know, like you were saying, you know, the benefit of what you're doing. I'm sure you get comments from people who are like, "This is amazing," or "Thank you for this," and "Thank you for, you know, saying these things." It's content creation is kind of like going through a wind tunnel, and the trolls are like debris that blows by, but you know you're going where you're supposed to be going. So, you know, thank you for
sure.
Yeah,
and
you know, thank you for saying that.
I like to think that, you know, we've had some, particularly in shorts, like YouTube Shorts is where the unpleasantness likes to, I think, really linger. And some of that is just bots. Like, you don't even know if these are actual people. I guess actual people programmed the actual bots, but like, it's like, if you get like, one of our shorts recently had like, I don't know, 5,000 views or something. And it's like, if you get 5,000 people in a room, some of them are going to be assholes. Like, excuse my French. I was in France a few months ago, so my excuse. But you know, if you get that many people, and it's a global audience, so you get that many people in a room, some of them are not going to like you, and that's like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
That's fine. I probably don't like them either. That's okay.
Yeah, that's
So,
definitely true. Yeah.
It's interesting.
Yep. John, how about you, sir? What kind of content creation challenges have you faced? Hopefully you haven't had trolls to the level that Claire's had, but
Certainly not in the same way that it sounds like Claire has had. But I guess for me, there have been some technical issues. And I must admit, when I first started, my Australian internet was just shockingly bad. Like, it was just impossible to stream. And I have fortunately been able to upgrade that now. It's a lot better than it was. It's still probably not as great as I would like it to be. But I think the other thing that has been a bit of a stumbling block for me, and I do try to talk about it quite a lot, is just a lot of the mindset things, like just getting comfortable on camera, being comfortable hearing my own voice back, because I edit everything that I do. So like nobody else is hearing as much of me as I am of hearing myself. So, certainly that was a thing. Even little things like, when I started, I used to make myself the tiniest thing in a YouTube thumbnail. And it was just something that it sounds ridiculous to say that out loud, but it was just something that I needed to get over and just make myself a little bit more prominent in my own content. And I guess the other thing too is just sort of managing my own expectations, because I do feel like I put a lot of myself into my content, probably not as much as Claire, if I'm being honest, but certainly, there's a lot of time and energy go into these things, and oftentimes they don't quite reach the audience I'm hoping they will. But again, I'm relatively new in my journey for my current channels, so I guess that's something I need to keep in mind. But certainly, I think there are all kinds of little sort of learning curves, and if I look back at the things that I created even 6 months ago, I just cringe so badly, because they're just terrible compared to what I'm producing today. So, I mean, there has been some definite improvement, but again, it's always a journey. You've just got to keep going and pick yourself up and dust yourself off and keep creating the things that you want to see in the world.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely like that. How about you, Ejnar? What kind of challenges have you run into as far as creating content?
The biggest challenge that I have at the moment is this about collecting leads, because how are you doing this? Many people say they can make it, but if they can make it, I can make it also. I just need to learn how. So this is my biggest problem now. It is to get these leads in so I can contact people.
Yeah, that's definitely a challenge. Definitely, if marketing is a part of your strategy, so I can imagine.
Yes, I need to get out to tell people about all this. I can do this in Facebook and in LinkedIn, but it is not enough, because you have to get hold of more people than people who are in these platforms.
Yeah, definitely. We got some questions out here. Let me roll back here. Plus, I had a lot of amazing comments. Somebody asked if questions are allowed. Yes, questions are always allowed. And if you could follow them up with a Q:, that'd be amazing. But the Creator Classroom says, I'm not sure if taking questions, but I would love to know what cameras each creator is using for their channels. So, Claire, what kind of camera are you using for yours?
Well, for live streaming, I am using the Sony ZV-E10. It's a lovely little camera. But then for my like vloggy style stuff that I'm doing on the Mixaras, I am using my iPhone, and I just wanted to do that to remove any potential barriers to getting stuff done. Because it's like cool when you can have a nice setup, but when you're doing vloggy style stuff, it's kind of better to keep things moving. And I also wanted to just like get out of my head about things being perfect as well, and just go, oh, so the audio doesn't line up. Oh, well, that's okay. And like those videos have way more views than my heavily polished like videos. So it's an interesting thing. But yeah, Sony ZV-E10 and iPhone, and that's my long-winded answer to that question.
John, how about you? What kind of setup do you have?
Hilariously, I've got the exact same camera as Claire. I've got the Sony ZV-E10. So it's been a really great camera for me. I must admit, I only really produce content from my desk in this particular room, and I've actually got mine sort of permanently mounted in a little teleprompter set up with its own little display. So I don't even know if I've got a picture I can show you, but I might hunt one up later. But yeah, it's permanently attached. And I guess the thing that I often see people that have really elaborate setups that they need to set up and then take down again afterwards and then reset up again. And I really wanted to avoid that kind of friction in my content creation. So like it's literally set up that way 24/7. It's actually coming off an Elgato Keylight multi-mount. So it's all very well contained. So I just love sort of turning a few things on and being able to go live or pre-record depending on what I'm doing.
Yeah, definitely. I like that setup as well. Ejnar, what kind of camera setup do you have, sir?
I use an old A5100 Sony. I have used it for the last couple of years, and it is board used, so it is still working, and I think it is fine for now. And in connection with this, I have the pod mic from Rode, and I have the Rodecaster Pro 2 and a Stream Deck 15 keys.
Oh wow.
This is and then I use MacBook Pro 2021 model with an M1 chip. This is my setup, and I have two screens also here, and the one went on strike when I started this up, so I look a little to the one side because I have only one screen or two with the laptop, but you are over here.
All right.
So, but it's working normally.
Good setup. Good setup. I was gonna say you can just rinse and repeat what Claire and John said. I have the exact same setup. This Sony ZV-10. Obviously, the marketing was amazing from Sony when that camera came out. So, and because I was looking at the ZV-1. And I'm like, but it's a fixed. It doesn't have a lens you can detach or anything. I'm like, I want to go one step above that. So, definitely love the Sony ZV-10. Let's see.
Was it Think Media videos for anyone else? Because it was definitely watching a Think Media video. I was like, I must have the Sony ZV-E10. That was it.
I think it was Doc Rock sold me mine.
Yeah,
It should get a commission. So.
I literally had two different people on LinkedIn just
Oh, yeah?
randomly recommend it, and I thought that's a sign. I've got to buy it.
I joined the waiting list, and as soon as it arrived, I had to go buy the Cam Link, and I had to go buy the 16 millimeter Sigma lens, which is the official content creation setup everybody uses. So definitely, Dagan's telling also, he says he makes also Wood says he makes geeky and awesome things out of wood. BGG both are woodworkers, so they're conversing there in the channel. Cool. My motto: do what you want, ignore haters. And Tatiana says, Claire, yes, take heart and focus on the people that you're helping. We are humans with a negativity bias, so all the bad stuff will stand out more. Have to be intentional about focusing. So, yeah,
100%.
focusing on the plus, good stuff. Yeah. So Ross is saying, yeah, the Aussie internet isn't perfect. At least we still have it. So, and then Matt saying, John, your boom art is floating in air. Oh wait, there's a green screen artifact. Never mind. Haha. Yep.
Yeah, well, I guess you figured that out for yourself. I guess that's the thing. I'm perpetually in front of a green screen 24/7, and I should say it's like 11 p.m. at night here in Australia. So normally I do rely on a little bit of daylight to light this up properly. But I guess for me, like I literally have I have a door and a bookcase behind me, and it's never going to look good. So I always sort of fake it a little bit with the green screen. But I guess for me, the other thing is that I can just hit a button on my Stream Deck and I'm sharing my screen, and that's really good for me as someone who does a lot of, screen capture tutorial type things. So yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's so good having that like permanent setup. I have that as well. That it's just like all I have to do is turn that on, plug that in, and it's like cool, we're good to go. Rather than like, and that changed the whole game. Before I was doing that, it was like, oh, I gotta do this, I gotta set it all up, and it was like an extra, at least half an hour extra before I started filming or recording or whatever. And yeah, it's so good, just having it all ready to go. I'm with you.
Yeah.
And I guess the other thing I would say about the green screen is like it doesn't cover the whole background behind me. So I'm also doing a little bit of green screen magic via OBS Studio. And the thing that I realized very quickly was that I have to stay relatively still in the middle of my frame. But the great thing about that I discovered was that if I have to make edits in my videos, I'm not jumping around, so they're not usually obvious. So that's sort of a payoff for that, I think.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, my goal is that the background be real and the host be fake. So that's what I'm working toward. Tatiana says some ZV-10 for me too. Yeah, Sony. Yep. Yeah, anybody have any questions? Put a Q in front. Yes, I can see them. Yep. Whoop whoop. Sony International House. Yes, everybody here has a Sony. So follow up the lens kit or extra lens on the Sony ZV-10. So I have the Sigma 16 1.4. Claire, John, what do you guys have?
I just got the kit lens,
Okay.
which I see says 16 to 50. I don't really know what that means.
Yep.
I'm not much of a tech head myself, but gets the job done.
I must admit, I don't even really know off the top of my head. Again, it was with the kit. I feel like
Okay.
I'm copying everything Claire says today, but no, I mean it is literally
You can.
just the one that came with it.
Do you have a hat?
I
She has a
really
hat.
I leave it on the setting that it's always on. I literally just turn it on, and it goes via the cam link. So I don't really play around with the settings too much.
I know what kind of lens do you have? I put him on the spot. He's
I have no audio on you.
You don't hear me? Hello? Interesting. I don't know what happened. Claire, John, do you guys still hear me?
Yeah, I can still hear
Yeah.
you.
I can hear everyone,
Okay. Wow, including the people in the chat? That's amazing.
especially them. John, are you in Adelaide too?
No, I'm actually in New South Wales, sort of. Yeah, so
Right. Cool.
yeah, a couple of
So
hours
nice.
sort of south of Sydney.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Nice.
Yep. Let's see. Quip Institute asks us, John. Oops, hang on. Let's try it one more. Oh, wow, we lost Ejnar. Hopefully he comes back. John, having a permanent setup is essential for me. If I had setup each time, I would create anything. I wouldn't create anything. Yeah. That's me. You have to have it as frictionless as possible. And so I literally have, I wish I had my other camera set up to show you, but I have three monitors. Well, I have four technically because I have a little 7-inch monitor right above my camera as a confidence monitor, also to remind me to look at the lens, look at the camera. And then, yeah, so my left screen is work. My right screen is content creation, and the middle screen says during the day I work, day job, and at night I do content creation. So I just alternate what's on the middle screen, and then I have the 7-inch screen dedicated when I'm going live or recording and that type of thing. Just kind of see everything that's going on. So it was making me crazy that I couldn't see what was going on consistently. So I said, let's put it there. It was on this screen, and I would look to that screen. So I'm trying to behave and not do that. So. Yeah,
I must admit, to that point, like this is basically the little teleprompter unit that I've got, and I found an external display, so it's literally between the two monitors on my computer. So I try to always sort of just look, I mean, I can't do it for everything, but generally speaking, just looking straight ahead. So, it's amazing, and that was only probably a couple of $100 in Australian currency. So it's been a really, really useful thing for me.
Yep. Let's see. Yep. Hang on. So I had a question. Yeah, Einar's got a Sony. I think he says Sony 5100 was his camera. And he didn't hear us about the lens. Dagan says I use a Canon M50 for videos and lives. And it says I have recorded a few videos on iPhone. I do my shorts on the phone. So I have both the ZV-1 and the ZV-E10 for my live. Good setup. Yep. Not a question, but I suspect Roy used the most eCam backwards on his shows. Just say, I do use eCam. eCam is my jam, and my Tuesday live stream will be all about eCam. So we're gonna talk about it. But yeah, yes, Think Media. Adrian Salisbury, Diana Gladney, eCam fam all convinced me to get the Sony ZV-10. Yeah, the eCam fam, they're bad influence. They lead to a lot of gear acquisition syndrome. So, E10 is permanently mounted. I use the app to do Zoom on it, so I don't have to mess with it. Yep. And Ecamm has that. Well, I was going to say Ecamm has that functionality to do the Zoom and that type of thing as well. Backwards, I meant to write. Yeah. Dagan says I use a green screen for some videos, so I have to put up and take down. I was thinking about painting the wall green and have a permanent green screen. I thought about that too, and then I talked myself out of it because it's so hard to light green screen consistently. I'm sure, John, you could tell us the horror stories of trying to make your green screen look amazing. It looks great right now, by the way.
It's funny because I hear all these horror stories, and I think only once or twice has it really been an issue for me. And I guess the thing is, even though the green screen is sort of permanently up, it's like it's not physically attached to anything, so I can just move it forward closer to the back of me if it isn't lighting up well. And I do have sort of two of the Elgato key lights which are just pointed at me, so I don't know if I've just fluked it, but it's usually works pretty well for me.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. From earlier, everybody saying, "Yeah, we can hear you, Roy. We can hear you, Roy. I can hear you all." So yeah, I believe Ejnar had an internet interruption, so we'll have to see. He hasn't come back yet to join the party. Tatiana says she hears everyone. BGG says, I need a third screen. Ejnar can hear her, just not Roy. Yeah, it turns out Ejnar was having some sort of blip. Ross says, I use a single screen, the one that is on my iMac. Oh, okay, yeah.
I do as well.
And
Just
I'm
one.
using Ecamm. Yeah, Ecamm fam. OBS is my jam. Yeah, Dagan, you and John are kindred spirits on OBS, so...
You're speaking my language,
Yeah.
and I know I'm a guest of Roy's, so I won't say anything negative about Ecamm. I'll be on my best behavior, I promise.
You can't convince me it's bad because I've been using it for 3+ years.
I don't think it's bad. I just don't own a Mac. That's basically the reason I don't use it. But yeah, I do like OBS, and it's literally free, and I do a lot of content about it actually.
You cannot beat the price of OBS. That is true. It just has a learning curve, and so it takes time. So Ejnar, welcome back. I don't know what happened, but can you hear us now?
Uh-oh.
Can you hear us now? All right, we'll come back. We'll come back.
It's very suspenseful, isn't it?
It is. What's happening? What's going on? Ejnar returns, yes. The reason I asked is I'm putting together a list of recommended cameras, so I thought I'd ask, and the E10 is definitely on the list. Yeah, the ZV-E10 has been rock solid for me. Oh, we lost him again. Wow. Okay. Hopefully, Tatiana says OBS is a great tool. Yeah, I have been playing with OBS a little bit, mainly because it's got that vertical camera option if you add the plug-in, and I was curious to see what would happen. Yeah, I'm thinking that's a no. Yeah. It was a learning curve of OBS that put me off. Now I see the similarities with Ecamm. Yeah, Ecamm is my jam. So, Claire, what do you use for your streaming software?
I use StreamYard.
Oh,
I
that's
just
right.
I
That's
just
right. I forgot
love
about that.
how it's just so easy.
It is. If you want the easiest.
I didn't have to learn anything.
Yeah. What happens in
Yeah.
live stream stays in live stream. Oh, no, now John's missing. No, John's there. We didn't lose John. OBS Studio, I couldn't get the software. I couldn't get that software to place a single comment on the screen. Yeah, I had that problem. I did finally figure it out. Yeah, unfortunately.
I've got a tutorial about that over at johnlacey.com if you're interested.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Yeah, so that's it's the craziness of the world. So what's next? Oh wow, we got 2 Johns. We'll work that out.
Wow,
we'll
that is
go with
trippy.
it
Wow.
till Ejnar comes back.
That's very fun. It was like a music video, isn't it?
Let's see. We'll save Ejnar's spot. We don't want to take it away. All right, there we go. So what's next? What are you guys working on next? I know Claire, you've got 2 channels now. And you know what? I'll here in a little bit. We'll talk about everybody's channels and all the places you can find. By the way, in the description on this video, as always, you'll have all their social links and go find them. You guys have to go update. Now I need your thread links if you guys have threads. Are any of you guys doing threads?
Oh,
I must admit,
not yet.
I did sign up for it, but it's funny. It all happened on a week where I basically went, Twitter is falling apart, but I like the text update. So I went to Mastodon, I went to Blue Sky, I've revisited Hive Social, and then I added Threads on top of that. And I went, this is all a bit too much. I think I might just give it a few weeks and see what happens.
Yeah, I like the
Yeah,
bubbles.
I'm a bit torn about it. I like one of the biggest reasons I'm interested in Threads is because my Twitter was hacked a few months ago, and I didn't know that it was because I use it so rarely. And I have like appealed it, and it's been months and nothing has happened. So it's still, if you look me up on Twitter, it's still like, hey, who wants to get some fake stocks or whatever? I don't know what it is.
Cryptocurrency.
But yeah, it's so annoying. So I'm like, ugh, yeah, I'll give Threads a go. But I also think that there's a lot of there can be a lot of power in just focusing on one or two platforms, and not, because I have found that I was kind of starting to, when I was trying to do Twitter and I was trying to do TikTok and I was trying to do everything, I was just doing everything poorly, instead of like focusing on one thing and just letting the world do whatever it's doing. But then I also think that there's power in not ignoring new things that are happening in the world, because YouTube could go away. That's doesn't seem like it will, but it could. So I guess it's good to work out what works for you. But if it's just stealing away time from your life, and that's what the other platforms, I was like scrolling more than I was creating any content, you know? So yeah.
Definitely have to avoid the doom scrolling.
Yeah,
Ejnar, are you back?
Oh, you got it.
Can you hear us now? Wave if you're there. So, okay, we'll keep going. I've definitely got some more comments out here. Let's see. Ross says she loves the bubbles. Okay, I'll put the bubbles back in a minute. Dagan says that would be fun. Oh, top down teachers. Okay. We gotta laugh at ourselves, right? Make lots of mistakes. Definitely true. Oh, I think Ejnar has audio, but we're hearing it.
Oh no.
Let's see. I wouldn't miss my Twitter as I don't accept. Oops, sorry. Put it back again. Go back. Anyway, except I feed my daily live stream through Ecamm. Yep. Yes, for sure. Roy and everyone. All right. Yeah, thinking it's still a no. Yep, sweet. Don't have quite it. Any of it can go away. Very tempted to pull the plug out of everything. So much overload with the social media. That is true. Do you guys feel overloaded with social media? How about you, John? Does social media just kind of feel overwhelming?
To be honest, I tend to sort of dip in and out of it when I'm in the mood. I mean, I'll often just post something once a day and spread it as widely as it sort of makes sense to. So, if I've got a short vertical clip, for example, I'll throw it up into YouTube and TikTok and Reels in different places. I guess the other sort of reflection I had with the introduction of Threads and the issues with Twitter earlier in the week is that I really probably do need to double down on my own website a little bit more than I have been. So it's funny because I tend to assume most people on social platforms probably want to stay where they already are, but I do have a lot of great stuff on the website, so I do try to send people back there periodically. But I just had this really palpable sense this week that maybe I really need to be doing that a lot more than I have been.
And Claire, you kind of stated, I agree with you that you have to focus on one thing, and YouTube is my love. I give it all the love, and then I sort of like LinkedIn. Instagram, and then I use Twitter mainly to be another person completely, so that gets involved. And I like the fact that you can reach out to companies and say something's broke, you need to fix it, and they will actually reply to you, as opposed to I call them on the phone and you have to wait 4 hours for them to hang up on you. So
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think like I really love Instagram largely because I think it's so wonderful for making short form content.
Yeah.
So I create almost all of my short form content using the Reels creator, like the editor, and it's just so good that it just does the captions automatically for you. And they might not look super fancy or whatever, but they still work. And I just find it so much easier to use than trying to, like, I don't know. It's just Instagram is amazing for that reason. And then being able to just repurpose that stuff straight over to YouTube is awesome. It's been really helpful, particularly for the new channel. Yeah.
Definitely. All right. So what's next? What are you guys coming up next? What are you making next? What's the big thing that's coming from all you guys? What's the next adventure? Just really, I know we got off on the social media tangent.
I mean, that's a great question, and I know you did sort of warn us that one was coming, but I must admit I'm kind of in a place right now where I'm just trying to reflect on the things that I have been doing for the last 6 months or so, and just trying to figure out what is working and maybe what isn't being quite as successful as I want it to be. And as much as I do love live streaming, I kind of feel like I should be doing more recorded and edited video for YouTube specifically. The live stream is generally great for the people that are there to enjoy it live, but I just kind of feel like I have an opportunity, and I say that as someone who does enjoy editing video, but that I just have an opportunity to maybe package up some of those things in a easier way to consume, a little bit shorter and snappier, perhaps. As much as it is really wonderful just to chill out and hang out live and interact with the comments. That's sort of another thing that I'm exploring. I did actually start an audio podcast 9 weeks ago called Build a Presentation Muscle. And I guess for me, in some ways, I'm a practical guy. I like to explain how software works and how technology works. I'm happy to geek out about all of those things. But I kind of felt like I wanted to dig into really, those things are great, but really, what do you actually want to express? Like, what is your message? What is the difference you're trying to bring into the world? And how can you refine that? And maybe how you can work on building those presentation skills and those communication skills just to really be able to hone and share your expertise. And especially in the current landscape of everybody just losing their minds and copying and pasting out of ChatGPT, I really do believe that authorship and having your own thoughts and thinking about things and expressing those is actually really, really important. So I guess that's another thread that I'm sort of interested in unpacking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Claire, what's next for you?
Yeah, it's actually I'm going to copy John. And I in some ways I have had some similar stuff going on, and like I've loved doing live streaming, and I still love doing live streaming, but it is I did a coaching with Daniel Batau earlier in the year, and he was talking to me about live streaming, and particularly live streaming about YouTube and what I have been doing. And he was saying that with stuff that goes for an hour or so, like the audience, it's a very specific audience who are going to see a video that goes for an hour long and will click on it. And then it's an even smaller amount of those people that are going to watch the whole hour or so. And that's how long my videos have typically been, which is awesome. Like, it's so good to have like a really in-depth conversation, but working out like, how can I... So he was saying that even a channel like StreamYard has a hard time, like they're quite an established channel and they have a hard time getting an audience for a live stream. And I found that both depressing and very, very enlightening and helpful. And he wasn't saying don't do it. He was saying do edited stuff as well, because you need stuff that the audience can, like a wider audience will be able to connect with in a faster way. so yeah, I found that it was such a helpful and confronting coaching with him. And so working out ways of, taking that long form content and chopping it down into smaller bits, or just creating completely like just edited, intentional videos. But yeah, shorter stuff. But like the biggest thing that I'm working on at the moment is definitely making a baby. So I am, and that is what we're doing on the Mixaras is just so cool and awesome, and I think pretty unique. And doing something where there isn't like so much competition has been a really interesting experience for me as a content creator. And yeah, releasing a video and it getting hundreds of views in the first few hours is like a very new experience for me, because that doesn't happen when you do an hour-long live stream. Not for me, at least.
Yeah.
And yeah, creating stuff that is probably much more personal, and I don't think that's necessarily for everyone, but for me, I'm like happy to talk to literally anyone about anything ever. So I'm a pretty open book. So for me and for Nina, it really works. So I'm very excited about that. It's cool to see how much people are connecting with it, and it's also kind of cool to see how much some people are hating it, because it's like it's an interesting experience seeing all of that stuff and knowing that it's not personal. But yeah, the people that we're helping, oh gosh, it's so cool. And just like, oh yeah, I love it. It's so fun. It's so fun when someone tells you, stop talking about this in public. Like, if you have to do it, keep it to yourself. And I'm like, oh, I'm literally going to do the opposite of what you're instructing me to do. How
Like,
fun.
If you don't want to watch it, don't watch it.
Yeah. But like, we got sent a message from a friend who's had coffee with her friend and passed it on to her daughter, who is about to start trying to have a baby with her partner. And it's like, that's so amazing how powerful it can be to see your story reflected online in such a positive way. So yeah, anyway.
Yeah.
Gosh,
awesome.
I'm not good at brief answers, am I?
It's okay. Ejnar, are you with us?
Yes, if you can hear me now, yes.
Yay!
Yeah,
We hear. All right.
The iPhone always works.
Yes, thank goodness. So glad to have you back. So what are you working on next for your channel and your content creation?
And I'm working on getting this concept working with Tony. We are calling it Fix It for Seniors at the moment. And this is for helping these people more than 50 years old with new technology. And this can be done in many ways, but there is subscriptions and different other things we can do. So we are working on that. And on the other hand, I still work on this where I can help small companies with social media and WordPress homepages and update these pages and all this. So there is two different legs in this I'm doing or trying to do.
Yeah, that's awesome. Good stuff. All right, I'm gonna pivot. We're gonna catch up with everybody in the chat, and then I want to show everybody where they can find you guys. So, because there's been some great comments that came in while we were still out there. Let's see. Ross says our own real estate over the net long-term option. Okay, Einar's back. Yay! Yep. Having our own thoughts instead of robotic thoughts. I like robots thinking for me. That's just me though. So, lives are great for community building, but not for replay value. That's not true. I have some lives that have done really good on replay, but you're right. For the most part, I mean, I totally agree. And I'm sure you I don't know, community building is what the lives really are about. It's not, I do a lot of live demos, and sometimes they go well and sometimes they don't. But, and I admit, for me, my recorded videos do so much better, but the excitement, the fun, the adrenaline, and hanging out with my friends is the amazing part. How do you guys feel? I mean, Claire, you've kind of mentioned you talked to someone, they kind of told you their thoughts on what live streaming does for you as opposed to recorded videos, and so it sounds like you're gonna continue but focus also more on recorded videos. And I think, John, you kind of said the same thing, but is that pretty much the direction you feel going forward is going to be for you, Claire?
Yeah, certainly on the first channel, it's I just love having conversations with people and connecting with people in the audience, and I always learn so much from my guests, and it's like I don't want to not do that. Like live streaming has brought me community, and before I started live streaming, I hadn't really been able to connect with people very much. So it changed everything. So I'm not going to not do that, but adding in shorter stuff, I think. Adding in shorter stuff for sure.
And John, you kind of said you're going to focus more, since you already are adept at editing videos, you're going to focus more on that, doing more video on demand, so to speak. Is that...
Yeah, I think and I guess as a teacher, like it's always a good idea to do that first lesson live, because you never know what you're overlooking, and someone in the comments will ask a question that might take it in a different direction. But I guess and it's wonderful when we can hang out live and just get that feedback instantaneously. But I think a lot of the times it is that community building. And I think some people, especially people that don't know who I am, which is probably 98% of the world, if I'm being honest, at this point in time, check out my YouTube channel with my 54 subscribers. I cherish each one of you dearly, but I'd love to see a few more. But I guess, at the moment, I would love something that's a little bit more shorter and snappier, and, because in some ways, the great thing about going live for me is that it's, whatever happens. I've set up a time that I know I've told the world I'm going live. So I have to do that even if I wake up grumpy, even if I haven't had enough coffee. So it actually happens there. And I can't be too perfectionistic about the outcome or, the results. But in some ways, I would really like to just do some things that are much more on point, that just answer people's questions straight away, rather than, have them sit through 45 minutes of stuff before they get to the answer they need. That said, I mean, there's probably other opportunities, especially in a YouTube context, that, maybe I just actually have those chapters included in the description, so people can jump around to the things that they want to know. It's funny, in some ways, the main live stream I do is the video and live streaming show, which I do with my co-host, Sam Proof. And Sam has been, he's been on the same YouTube channel for 15 odd years. So he has much more of an audience than I do. And I'm kind of feeding off his community a little bit at the moment, but I really would love to see more people sort of join me on my side of the fence, as it were.
Yeah. All right. I know you've been dabbling with live video. What's, what's your strategy as far as lives versus recorded videos?
For me?
Yes, sir.
And I try to make a mix of it, but the most I have been doing until now has been some live videos, and I think it is the more fun part of it is to make the things live. But I have also worked with that possibility to produce videos and just put them on YouTube. But there is much more work in that.
Definitely a lot of work in that. That's definitely...
Yeah. Oh. Yes.
All right, now I want to show everybody, how do we find you guys on the interwebs? You got to be there somewhere, so let's go find out where we find it here. And begin the sharing. Yay! All right, so Claire, this is one of your 2 channels that you have. And definitely go back here. We'll go back here. So... and I learned about you through Marcus. Marcus is fantastic, by the way. And so that's how I found out about your channel. Now I'm a subscriber, and I'm in your community. So, kind of what you want to tell people. And then you definitely have your new channel, the Mixeras. That's a fun channel as well. I'm really enjoying your journey there, and I love that you're sharing it. Where else if everybody goes to the description, they'll find all the places on Instagram that you're located. You also have a website. This is your time
I
to tell
actually
everybody.
don't have a website.
I thought you did. Oh, I do.
No, I don't. Isn't that monstrous of me?
I don't know. It depends on what your strategy is and what your goals are. By the way, I didn't show you this. Hang on, I got to show you this. I am wearing your
Oh
shirt.
my gosh! Ah, yes.
I meant to show you that. Oh wait, going back. Yeah, you show the coffee cup. There you go.
I got the mug. Oh, that's so good.
So anyway, yeah, it's like I will wear
beautiful.
Claire's shirt today. So when I do the live stream, so definitely. But if you go to the description, you will find all the links out there that you can go find. That she said to go find me here, all these places, and then the McSarah's definitely to follow her IVF journey and the journey for her and her wife to have a baby. It's just amazing that you're sharing those stories. Good stuff, and so definitely. Hope a lot of people find it and find inspiration from that. And then, John, tell us about your world. What does the world of John look like? Here you've got your Learn Live Streaming channel.
Yeah, so this is the Learn Live Streaming channel, and it is like it's mostly about live streaming, but it is sort of about video and content creation more generally. So at the moment, if you head over to that channel, there's probably two main things that you can sort of find, and that's the video and live streaming show, which I do with Sam Proof, and also if you're into listening to podcasts via YouTube, which is not something I personally do, but it's available in any podcast player that you might want to check out too, is my podcast Build a Presentation Muscle. So you can find out that wherever. Yeah, so it's all happening over there. I guess for me, the other places you might like to head over to johnlacey.com, which is my website. And also I do a lot of stuff on LinkedIn, actually, and I have a weekly Learn Live Streaming newsletter. So I'll talk about whatever is coming up and the things that I've done there as well. So like I said, I'd love if that's of interest to anybody at all, I'd love to hear from you. So please get in touch.
There we go. Yeah, so definitely go there and then find you on LinkedIn, obviously. So good stuff. Mm-hmm. And then Ejnar, here is your channel.
Yeah.
So, and I have all his links in the description as well. So definitely go find him. And so he's working on videos that, to kind of teach people about a lot of things that are going on around in his world. So, kind of tell us about your channel.
Yes, I try to make it about live streaming and technology, but there is some other things there also from my personal life here, as you can see, shorts and different things. But it is about communication, social media, and live streaming. This is the name of the channel, and this covers what I'm trying to do.
Yeah, great stuff. Yep, I see you got stuff about the iOS Beta 3 out, so good stuff, sir.
Yes,
good stuff.
I made a live earlier today, and that killed the machine.
Yeah. Well, if you're in the beta, it gets interesting. So I'm sure that's a happy, fun time there as well. So, all right.
Yes, but maybe sometimes this destroys everything because I'm running betas and all this, and see if it is working or not working. That is interesting, but the most of the time it's going.
Yeah, it's the challenge. Tech is tech. Such as live is live. So whatever happens live, it just happens, and the world sees it. And you just go on and do the best you can with
it. Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Hey, there's a few more comments we'll end up with here. All right. Let's see. Hey, let me get going here. Ross says her daily live streams, 10 to 15 minutes. I don't have a huge audience, but those that show up, I have regulars for 4 years since I started. So yeah, definitely community.
Wow.
And Philip's out there. Hello, all, John. You will have a new subscriber, Claire. I'm already a viewer. Yep. And one guy says, "Hey, everyone, just finished my live stream. Thanks for dropping by." Yeah, yeah, she goes live on Saturdays. I didn't want to mess with her. So, what's going on there? Megan says, "I subscribe to everyone." So, yeah, I know Claire and John. I have to watch on replay. Tatiana says, "Hi, la la." I know, buy me a coffee link. Oh, I know your buy me a coffee link somebody says it's not working. So I need to fix it on my page on the description. I may have messed up, or maybe that was on.
Okay, yeah.
I'll have to go look, and then and my moderator says, please don't forget to smash that like button for the awesome live. I thought the other day, yeah, all right. Everybody said hi. So that closing out the day here. Thank you so much for being on the show, guys. I do apologize. I've kept some of you guys out way past your bedtimes, and
Way past mine.
it was a challenge. It was a challenge to try to find time to work for everybody, and so I apologize about the late hour for you guys. I do thank you so much for taking the time to be on the show, and really appreciate getting to know more about you guys, because I already knew of you, and now we know even more, and I hope my community will become part of your community as well. So thank you guys so much for being here tonight or this morning, depending on what time zone, or afternoon, depending on your time zones. And just any last thoughts you guys have? We'll go ahead and we'll start with Claire. Claire, any last thoughts you want to throw out as we end up the show?
I'm just so grateful to you for having me on your show. It's been such a lovely way to spend the evening.
All right, thank you. And John, how about you, sir?
Again, thank you so much for having me, and thank you to those people that have already subscribed, because I know there are at least 3 of you already, so thank you for that. I guess the thing I would encourage everybody to do is, whatever you're thinking about creating, whatever you want to build, just take some small action towards that this week.
Yeah, awesome. Ejnar, how about you? Last thoughts?
Only say thank you for letting me be here. It is a pleasure to be on the show, and thank you for the invitation to tell more about it here.
Yeah, thank you. And let's see. I'm supposed to do some calls to action. By the way, I have a new site now. If you go to shop.techtrollmaker.com, so shop.techtrollmaker.com, I have a coffee mug, a t-shirt, a hoodie. It's new. This is a new thing, doing merch. So I have merch now. So there you go. And let's see, my other call to action, as always, is subscribe. Please subscribe to my channel, and just thank you so much. And here's that outro. And if it were working, I'd be right here right now with my picture. But let's see. Oh, there we go. Hey, all right. So YouTube's going to tell you to watch some video. Will I get this right this time? Go this way. Yeah. Go watch the video that YouTube tells you to watch next. And thanks. Have a great night. Guess stick around for just a minute.